Friday. I thought I'd start my little reading vlog off here. This weekend is for Karin Slaughter. I'm reading False Witness. I'm excited. It's kind of long, but I might try to get Libby copies so that if I have chores or want to knit or do whatever this weekend, I can do that as well and get through some of this. At the end of this video, I will go over my reviews for Pieces of Her and Pretty Girls. Just spoiler alert, it's split 1 and 1. I liked one and I didn't like one. So watch till the end to see which of those I like. But yeah, I figured this would just be like a cozy reading vlog for the weekend. I don't have a ton going on and it's going to be really, really cold. So I'm going out of the house tomorrow for a quick brewery trip. Me and my fiance love to try different breweries. We live in Connecticut and it is like a brewery hotspot. So we are always going on the weekends, although my resolution for 2025 is 2 sober weekends a month. So this weekend won't count towards that goal. I figured instead of just doing like my other videos, I kind of did like a sit down review in the beginning. I'll do that at the end. So it's 5 o'clock. I'm logging off work for the week. I luckily don't have to work the weekend. Soon I will have to work weekends because tax season is coming and I'm a tax gal. Have to gear up for that. So I'm definitely just like logging off right away and like enjoying any free time. But I am so excited to relax. I'm going to take a quick shower first and do like the everything shower. I got my hair cut last night and for some reason I feel like it makes me look paler. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm like looking at my face more, but I really, really like it. But I just feel very pale and it's winter in Connecticut, so like that makes sense. I also got these glasses yesterday. I finally got prescription lenses. The computer is just torching my eyes and I just felt like my vision was slowly getting blurrier than it used to be. So I see so clear now and it's crazy and I'm really excited to like read with my glasses because I'm curious to see like if I'll notice a big difference. But just like looking, I like definitely notice a difference. Everything is just so crisp and I'm like, is this how other people have seen like this whole time? Because everything is just like a touch blurry for me. So yeah, whole new world, new hair, new glasses. Who is she? Plans for this weekend are to read. I want to get some knitting done. I've been working on this blanket for so long and I don't even know if I'm 25% done because I really do want it to be like pretty big. So I'm working on my knitting. I have this like book nook craft, which once you put it all together, it actually goes on your shelves and it can like light up and everything. It's really cool. That was a Christmas present for me and I've only done maybe like 25% of it. So I definitely want to like audiobook and work on that. I feel like that would be fun to do this weekend. And yeah, tomorrow brewery and then I'm having a friend over at night to watch the new Amazon Prime movie with Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell. So I'm really excited. Just a cozy, chatty reading weekend in my life and it will slightly be centered around Karin Slaughter. And if this book goes anything like the one that I don't like, I'm gonna be so upset because you will find out at the end which one I really liked and which one I really did not like. I know Karin Slaughter has a ton of books. The only other one that I'm like really, really interested in reading is The Good Daughter, and I had it in my cart I think on like Barnes and Noble's book annex like a couple years ago and I forget why I took it off. Like maybe it sold out or something, the copy. But anyway, I'm going to go shower and get cozy. I did laundry on my lunch, so I have a like super cozy, clean sweat set to put on for the night and it's freezing and raining outside. So we're gonna set the vibes and I'm excited. I ran out of the drops, so now I just have to use the self-tanning mist, but I'm convinced I actually like it went bad, but it's all I have and I feel pale, so we're just gonna have to do it. I feel so nice and clean now, but I feel like I want like a tea. I feel like I don't want hot chocolate like before dinner, but I want like something to sip on while I read. So I'm gonna go try to find that. It was such a long week. I'm like so happy to be like here and cozy. Got the puppers with us and just ready to read. I was gonna use my glasses and I was really excited to use my glasses, but I'm like paranoid to get like self-tanner on them. We're not gonna do that. He's a little amped because UPS is outside. And that really gets you, doesn't it? I got some tea. Someone gifted me this mug from Target. It says S for Shannon. And I really, really like it. But I ended up going with some lemon ginger stash tea. Oh, I don't know what it is about holiday toys are like his favorite. Like this is a candy cane and it's your favorite. But I have hot tea, so you gotta be careful. Oh, good catch. My favorite playtime where I don't have to move. For a little bit, and then I just went on to look at YouTube because sometimes I like click a vibey video in back. And Little Book Owl, who she's kind of like an OG YouTuber, honestly, but she's live right now, so I think I'm gonna like leave it on my little table so that I can kind of be a part of it, you know? I always love like when people do like the live streams. I have it like set up on my tablet, so it's like I'm reading with someone. How lovely is that? But I do have thoughts already on this. I'm only 30 pages in though, so I need to keep reading before I give like an all-encompassing response. What you do need to know is there's absolutely trigger warnings in this book, and I went into this book completely blind. I still don't really know what it's about. So I'll let you know when I do know what it's about, but I generally go into her books blind just because, I don't know, I find with like thrillers, sometimes the blurbs just ruin the books. So I usually go in completely blind unless it's like a really hyped up book that I've seen online a lot. I'm going to enjoy her reading sprint and read 2. So I'm excited. I feel like I'm like not reading alone now. So I just got to chapter 3 and I'm about 75 pages in because the chapters are pretty long. I have to say from the prologue, I was really scared we were going to run into another Pretty Girls plot. But the prologue was interesting to the point where I didn't even know what was the premise of the story would be. And I truthfully don't even think it would do a service to anyone to explain the premise of the story, because I think the shock value early on is so awesome, because usually in thrillers you have to wait so long for your shock value. But I will say, so this is like, I mean, it's called False Witness, which I should have put together, but it's like a courtroom type mystery thriller case solving book, which those are some of my favorites. I love 13 by Steve Kavanaugh. I love Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. I think is also a courtroom like trial mystery book. And then so is kind of Where the Crawdad Sings, where you get like the trial and then some backstory. So I have to say, like, I have not really like wanted to stop reading. Like I had to stop to get up for a second, and like I didn't even want to put the book down, and I'm gonna have to stop to eat dinner, and I like don't want to. But it's really good so far, and I'm really happily surprised, and I just hope it like keeps it up, because yeah, it's pretty good. I'm getting through it really quick. I'm really excited to read this weekend and let you know what I think, because I think also coming off of reading Onyx Storm last weekend, which was just tough to get through, I think like it's just getting back to my thrillers is just like making me happy. Yeah, I don't really know what to think about who the case is about yet. I don't know. But I'm excited for some twists, hopefully. The end of chapter 1 or 2 also had like a nice twist. So it really like starts you off quick, and it's like really fun to follow so far. So I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna eat dinner and watch some shows, but I will check back in when I'm reading more. So the tan definitely worked. I look very tan this morning, but I also just put on my foundation. And here's what I was getting ready. I would tell you my dilemma, which is that I kept waking up last night and thinking about the book because it freaked me out so much. And it's really my issue with Karin Slaughter. So I think I have to like get over it because it's just how she writes. She writes like really grotesquely, and I don't understand why because it's just a thriller. But yeah, I read a little more last night. It's still good. I just hate that she puts those like parts in the books because I don't think that they're completely like necessary to be in there to make the story work. We have kind of a long car ride, so I'm going to bring my book, and I'm getting there. Probably about 25% of the way now. So good. Figured I would show you what I got. So we went to the thrift store and I got The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. I've heard a lot about this book, so I'm pretty excited. We go to a like secondhand bookstore, and the paperbacks are usually about $3 or $4, and then the hardbacks, if they are current like 2023 on, I would say they're about $7 or $8. I also got Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. So I was excited because I've seen stuff about these too. So I really try to go for books that like I've seen a little bit about. I usually like, if I'm looking at a bookshelf, I'll go for ones that I've seen, and then I'll read the synopsis again and see if it's something that I want to read, because I actually saw a few that I thought I would want, and then I was reading the synopsis again and I was like, I don't think that those are ones that I would enjoy. But yes, these were $3 each, so it's just fun to like buy books, honestly, secondhand. I do love like reading backlist books, and I honestly don't really know like if I'll ever be like a current reader of like what's out this year. My rule with myself currently is if I've read an author's like entire list of books, then I can possibly think about reading their new releases. So like if I read all of Lisa Jewell's backlist, like for example, Alex Michaelides, I read The Silent Patient and Maidens, and then when what's that book called? Book came out, I decided that I was like, okay, I've read his backlist, so I think I can read it. So yeah, that's my rule for myself. Good morning. I just went to the gym and grocery shopped, and I'm ready to go home and take a shower and eat a yummy breakfast and do all of my hobbies. Like I want to knit today. I want to work on my book nook. I listened to a little of the audiobook when I was in the gym. It's honestly just like a really depressing audiobook to listen to, but I like the narrator at least, so that's good. But yeah, the book is just a little tough to get through, like based on the subject matter, but we persevere. I think I might like reading it tangibly better because like the icky parts I can kind of like skip over, and there's a lot of like pretty disturbing parts. But I do want to do a lot of hobbies today, so I need the audiobook. But maybe I'll just like skip, because there's been a lot of like icky parts and it like makes my stomach hurt, honestly. It's like so gross. I like the actual mystery. Like I wish they would focus more on the mystery than like all the other stuff. Migrate into the office because I felt like after I ran all my chores, I was just like zoning out laying in bed. But I did get to watch a lot of YouTube, which was fun. There's so many good videos out right now. And I really love like Katie Coulson and Books and Lala, watching their videos. But I read a little bit in bed, and I also listened to it this morning at the gym. But I'm only on page 120, rushing through it, and like I was enjoying it, and now it's kind of like at a standstill. Or not enjoying it as much. And I also switched POV, but I can pretty much loosely tell you that the book is about two sisters, and they kind of do something in the beginning of the book, and it like sets the tone for the rest of the book. Going on with one sister, and stuff in the past is like coming up. So it's pretty much like a jury trial story, but they're also going over some past things, and it's following both sisters now, which I thought it was just going to follow one sister, but it changed POV, and I don't really love the chapter about the other sister. Like, it's just not as interesting to me. I hope the story like picks back up. It is like, I'm only like 25% of the way, so there is a lot more to still happen, so I'm still invested, but I'm not like reading it as fast as I was on Friday, which kind of stinks. I'm about halfway now, and it is so good, and it's really picking up, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think it's because they're focusing so much on the trial now, and that's what I like. So I'm like tearing through it again. I'm on chapter 9, which is page 204. So I don't love the chapters from the other sister's perspective, Callie, because it's following two sisters, Callie and Lee. I love Lee's chapters, and I like her like investigating and everything to do with the trial. So we're finally like almost at trial, so I'm pretty excited to see how all that goes. Book Nook, and I'm doing the romantic Venice one, so it's kind of cool. Like, I had to like build the boat and stuff. I don't know where it is, but there's definitely a lot of pieces, and it says it's 14 plus, and I'm 27, and I think it's hard. Yeah, it's very fun though. It's not like as mindless as knitting though. Like, you definitely have to pay attention, but listening to an audiobook and doing this is like, I feel like the book lovers version of doing Legos. So it's very fun and very therapeutic, and it really like, if you're stressed or something, it like gives you something else to focus on because you're like me and you have Sunday scaries. This is a great activity because I can't think of anything else when I'm trying to figure this out. It uses like so much brain power. But anyway, the audiobook is good. I just really don't like these Callie chapters. I'm trying, but I just don't like them nearly as much as the chapters from Lee's perspective. Going through, the book's really good so far, so definitely picking back up, so I'm excited to finish it tonight. So this is where we're at right now. So we have a little boat, and this is like our base, and then there's like a lot of wires under here. I think the last page is how you put together all like the lighting, because there's like a little light right here, and then there's like a light in the store that you have to like thread through the whole thing. So it's so cute. So this will be one side of it, and then this is everything like I built today, and then the other day I had built like all of, oh my god, this side. And I also don't have like a ton of thingies left to pop out, so I'm interested to see like what I have left to do. But these things are honestly so fun, and like I just did this for like an hour or two, and it's just like so enjoyable. I'm going to review for you the Karin Slaughter books that I've read so far. So I'm going to review them in order of what I read. So the first one I read is Pieces of Her, and this is an Andrea Oliver series, I think. Girl Forgotten is book number 2. So this book follows a mother and a daughter relationship. The daughter is kind of trying to grapple with things that happened in her past, pretty violent things, and try to figure out who her mom is, because she feels like her mom is actually hiding a lot and is like not who she thought she was before. But I gave this 3 out of 5. It has an aspect that I love in books, and I think when you have like a thriller drama book, people have like their tropes or their twists that they really enjoy, and when you see them pop up, you usually like those better. So I think that's what helped this one. Also, out of these 3, I do think that this one was the least violent. However, this was the one I read the longest ago. I read this about 2 or 3 years ago, so I could be misremembering, but I think I would remember if it was as violent as these 2 were, because of how much these 2 like got me. I did give Girl Forgotten a chance, and I just like didn't enjoy the story or get into it nearly as much as I did with Pieces of Her. I have not watched the Netflix series, and I probably should, because I don't remember the book super well. I just remember like my reading experience and how I felt about it, so I probably would enjoy the show. The one I read about a month ago was Pretty Girls, and as you can guess, this is the one that I did not like. I gave this one a 1 out of 5. Really, my rating had to do with how unnecessarily violent I thought this book was. I totally understand when there's violence and abuse, explained in excruciating detail. If you're doing like a character study on abuse or PTSD and things like that. But it just felt like in this book, it was so unnecessary, the amount of times you had to read it. And I think it shocks me knowing that her readers are probably young girls and that they would be reading this. And there's no like warnings when people recommend this book of how deeply disturbing it really is. The underlying story is interesting. It's about a sister dealing with the loss of her sister, and she doesn't necessarily know if her sister has passed or is just missing. So they're kind of going through that mystery throughout this book. I also didn't like the ending. I didn't think the twists were there for me. So I was shocked going from Pieces of Her, where I thought it was, a pretty solid 3 out of 5, to a 1 out of 5. But it was to the point where I literally thought my copy was different than everybody else's. I found this at Goodwill for $2. So I was like, maybe I have some, I don't know. When I hear people talk about this book, I am so convinced that I did not read the same book that they did. That is how differently I feel about this book than a lot of other people felt about it. And I had been looking forward to reading this for so long. And when I saw it in a thrift store last year, I was like, it's my time. I'm going to read this. I cannot wait. And I was just so hyped to read it. And it was a big letdown, to say the least. But it didn't totally turn me off from Karin Slaughter. And the one we just watched me read for 20 minutes is False Witness. I finished this late last night. I do think what bumped it up, I was thinking about giving it a 2, but what really got it to a 3 was, first of all, it's 400 pages. It's not short. Her books are not short. And I was interested and really into the story the whole time, although I don't agree with certain things and I didn't like the ending. But this book also follows 2 sisters, and they kind of do something in their past, and they're dealing with the fallout of that. And there's also a major trial running throughout this book, which kind of gives you your overall theme and the overall thing you're reading the whole time to try to find out what happens. And I love jury courtroom stories, but this one really just didn't dive enough into the whole courtroom trial part that I really wanted it to, and I think she could have taken it that way, but she just didn't. So that was disappointing for me to not see more of the trial play out. I really don't want to say too much because I think the shock value in the beginning is amazing. Some of the twists in the middle are also really awesome. So I do think there were some good parts to this book. I will say overall, I think I might just not be a Karin Slaughter reader. And I've heard that, just to throw in there, False Witness does have a lot of violence as well, a lot of drug use and deep description, which I was just glazing over because I didn't want to read about that stuff. It's different. I feel like she takes it a step further than, say, Lisa Jewell or Ruth Ware. I feel like she goes into uncharted territory, which I do think makes her a very unique female writer. However, I've read, these are each probably 400 pieces, I've read over 1,200 pages of her writing, and I just don't think Karin Slaughter's for me. I was excited to read The Good Daughter, but I did some research because all of these I went into completely blind, and I think it's fun to go into her books completely blind, but I do wish I had a heads up from some of those reviews that I watched on these books. But I was excited to read The Good Daughter, and I looked up the violence content, and it's supposed to be incredibly gruesome and violent as well. So I'm not super excited to read it. I don't know if I saw it in a thrift store, if I would just get it, Pretty Girls was $2, and I'm so glad I didn't buy a whole hardback nice copy of it because a nice hardback would match my set. But I don't think they're terrible books. Pretty Girls, I can't get past Pretty Girls. I really can't. Yes, so 2 3 out of 5s and 1 out of 5. And yeah, I think if you have any of your favorite Karin Slaughters, let me know. If you know of any of her books that are a little less violent, that would be great because maybe I would enjoy those more. But anyway, I'm Shannon Margaret B. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Bye.